All right, everybody. So I wanted to gather this group of people here to end off the day because there's a lot of sort of questions and not a lot of answers when it comes to how AI, machine learning, all of the algorithms, machine assistance is being used to find music and create music for commercials, TV, etc. So we've got some people here who are experts and creators in this area, and hopefully they can share their insights with us. So as soon as Kurt's ready, I'll start introducing everybody now, and then I'll introduce Kurt. So, okay, so we have here a representative of a lot of different areas. We've got Australia, New Zealand, we've got the UK, Europe, we've got Singapore, so we've got a local company in the house, and we've got the United States of America, and that's going to be Kurt. So what I'd like you guys to do while Kurt's getting set up is just give us a very brief info of who you are and what you do in your company. So Rohan, please start.
Hi, I'm Rohan Adakar. I'm the Chief Development Officer at Sistema AI, which is an AI company that's been running for slightly longer than you would expect. We've been going for about 11 years. It's based out of Melbourne. And all we've been doing is playing with machine learning and AI across a multiple range of verticals, and just trying to wait for everyone to kind of catch up and it to be the right moment to actually commercialize what we're doing.
Good. Joe?
Hello. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Me at the back? Lovely. Hi, my name is Joe Lisk. I'm the CEO and co-founder of MXX in London. And we have invented what is essentially an artificially intelligent music editor. The reasons are quite simple. Of course, music is everywhere, but it's not malleable. It's not malleable the way it used to be historically throughout the times of music. Since we've had this kind of baked recording, in recent history, we don't play around with music the way that we did. So that's what we're trying to introduce back to the world by making music malleable again, and that way you can adapt it to user-generated content, your professional videos, your advertising, and such the like, gameplay and so on.
Okay, so Joe, we're going to get into a brief presentation of what you guys do so people will understand it more, but I need to understand a little bit. Okay, you're talking about using AI to edit music. So expand on that a little bit. Basically, is it an editing environment? Is it like or is it something more than that?
No, it's actually a core technology.
Okay.
So the core technology itself is a process whereby a mind can consider music and do a valid edit for what we would say is a human. One of the actual issues we have, can I go slightly philosophical?
Yes, please do. Please do.
One of the elements that we have to face actually in the music sphere, and trust me, I'm a professional composer of 20 years, so when I finally realized this fact, it was really quite disturbing. But one of the things we have to realize is that music doesn't actually exist. It doesn't have a platonic form. It's a byproduct of the way that we process in our mind. So it's indetectable. You can't put a piece of machinery in a room and say, tell me if there's music going on. It just doesn't detect it. It's only a mind that can appreciate it. So therefore, it's very difficult to curate it. It's very difficult to edit it. It's very difficult to, actually create it using AI. So what we've done is we've made breakthroughs with the way that minds appreciate music, and then where you can do that across different cultures and say, here's how you edit opera. Here's how you edit K-pop. Here's how you edit,
Okay, that's good. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start with you on this. Everybody's going to I'm going to be a VC right now. I want a 3-minute presentation. So give me 3 minutes of your presentation. Explain to me.
It's not going to be that kind of presentation, I promise you. Right, let me see if we can get this working.
But it will be 3 minutes.
Okay, I don't have any sound.
Do we have sound? Do we need sound?
Yeah, you're going to need sound. You want to hear it? No, still not hearing anything. See, I've got a magic slide at the beginning that goes bing if the sound's working. Otherwise, I know the 3 minutes shouldn't work.
No sound in it?
Okay, well listen, what we'll do is we'll crack on and see if sound plays when we get there.
Well, let's hope so.
Obviously, as I was saying, music's everywhere. I haven't got time for all this. We've only got 3 minutes. So, core capability, think about gaming. Think about user-generated content videos. Think about professional videos. Let me show you a tool that we're actually developing for professionals. So this is MXX Audition Pro. Now, In a nutshell, what this allows you to do is drag in a video, as we're doing here, and then what I'm going to do is, independent of music, forget music for a minute, I'm going to describe the story. So here I'm going to say, right, I want a bit of introduction here, and I'm doing it with a series of intensity developments. So now I'm going to say, right, I want to start building. Give me a build from here. That's not volume. It's saying, give me more intensity until this helicopter crash. And then, boom, I want a kind of surprise drop out there. Vanish, you know, from an intensity perspective. And then here on the scary monkey, bang, I want a climax. Now, climaxes happen at a point in time. So I'm going to click on this little climax area. And I can put in another dropout, and then I'm going to put in a bed and say how high I want that intensity to be. But I've not done anything with music. I've just described a story. Now, is everyone with me so far? If I show you that?
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. So that's the story for this piece of film. Now what we do is we connect to our very powerful search facility over here. If you look at all of our connected catalogs, which I'll show you a slide in a minute of them, we've got everyone in here. We're kind of the sky scanner of the sync world. You can go through, type in a keyword like cinematic, then find yourself a piece of music, and when I double click on it, look at that play button. For about 2 seconds it spins around. Now in that period of time, a genetic algorithm over millions of generations is evolving the perfect edit for that specific track and that specific brief, which hopefully we'll now be able to hear.
Aha.
There we are.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Right, you get the idea. So, thank you.
That's-
Can I have 10 more seconds? I just wanted
Oh,
to
yeah,
show
yeah,
you
yeah. You go ahead. I had a couple questions for you, but yeah.
Lovely. So the point is now you can see whenever I double click on a track here, boom, that's another edit. And then we'll go through and double click on a track. This one here, boom. So you can now see, once you've set this kind of template up, the editing process is ridiculously quick to rapid prototype ideas. And that's very attractive to people in the likes of advertising and people making creative videos. And we got some wonderful suppliers who we're working with, and some very kind words from the likes of Tim Miles at Warner. MXX Technology presents a new dawn for the industry. I love that. And John Clifford at BMG as well. And finally, these are the people who are currently with who are helping us refine this. So we're with BBH, Mother, J. Walter Thompson Worldwide, and Brothers and Sisters. So thank you very much. That's my 3 minutes. It wasn't
That's
a pitch
perfect.
for investment, but
No,
I hope
no,
you
no,
understand
no.
what
I
we're
meant
doing.
just, Joe, I meant in terms of timing. But that was amazing. Thank you so much. So I've got a couple of follow-up questions. That gave you guys, I think, a pretty good idea of how amazing what you guys are doing is.
I've been sat down on a plane all the way from London, got off an hour ago.
Just go ahead and stand, no problem. So basically, like what you've done is you've taken a lot of the sort of difficulties that you have to go through, editing again and again and again to get the sonic landscape to match up with the visuals, and really put it into easy to use components. So that, you could take almost any song as you did and build out, the kind of thing that a trailer needs in terms of build.
Completely. So everybody can tell a story. Everyone can describe a story. And if you can do that, you can do that in a million ways. I mean, imagine a gaming SDK for gaming developers. When you say, I want the intensity to be 40%, but there's a boss fight in 7 seconds, so ramp it up to 70%. You can describe this. So you're describing a story. You're never doing a music edit. Then you just drop a track of music on it, and it goes boom, and just works. And the same for obviously user-generated content. Like if you have a video think of like Snapchat. Like you haven't got an hour or 2 hours to edit music on something that's going to be gone in 24 hours.
Yep.
But if you say, here's my content, here's my story, now here's my favorite track, wrap it around it, you have a very sensitive, we come at it from a very artistic perspective, so
Yeah.
it's all about making sensitive edits of your material and giving a kind of extension of the writer to the hands of people who are using the content.
Well, that's what I love about it, Joe, because I could see that it's somebody such as yourself who understands technology and also understands composition. You could tell by the way that it was built out, and it really reflected it in the final product that you showed. So when somebody like, okay, you mentioned BBH, I'm like, you know, I want to ask Isla if she's using this right now. You know, so those guys, like, what has been their feedback in general, like the agencies that you're working with?
It's been tremendous. What they've actually done is they've helped us through, you see this as a desktop tool. They've helped us turn this kind of tool from a beta product into what is now going to be a platform. In a way that you can imagine any other platform where think of something like Dropbox or Box or something like that. You have a tool on your computer, but then you have a web tool as well whereby you can share content and people can comment and so on. So we realize now that is actually the comprehensive product needed here for music supervisors to be able to use this as a tool to respond, for advertisers to be able to create briefs, for the likes of YouTubers to be able to grab music and put it onto their videos. It's kind of the same platform, and they've been really valuable in helping us shape that specific approach.
It's really brilliant, and right now people are using it, as he said, and they're not just using it in an experimental way. They're actually using it to create content. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was great. Thank you. All right. All right. So next, let's see. Okay. Do I have any more questions here? No, I don't think so. I think that we are just going to, at this point, do you want to be called Fa or Cheng? Because I saw in your signature, Fa. Right. Okay,
Hello?
so Fa, you've got a video for us, right?
Right. Before you start the video, maybe I'll just do a brief introduction.
Go ahead.
Never had my 3 minutes of fame. Anyway, so all right. So I'm Fa, and I'm basically a local front-end user experience developer for Museo. And what we do at Museo is basically we listen to songs, up to 30,000 songs a day. So what we do when we listen to songs, we understand the songs and extract features and develop audio fingerprints for each song out there. So I understand like most of you guys here are sync companies, and you probably have a huge product catalog that you have to churn out every single time. When a client sends you a brief and asks you, hey, I want to listen to this particular thing, I'm looking for this particular vibe. So how do you look through that huge catalog that you have and find the song the client wants to do in a very timely, efficient, and effortless manner? So I come from a viewpoint that AI, amidst the complexities, should be simplified for your utility. And that's why I'm speaking here as a user experience designer, that we built the AI, or rather we built the entire platform to showcase the AI just to meet your goals specific to the client themselves. So, okay, if you guys can't see much, you can just request a demo later with me, or maybe another day. I'm perfectly fine with that because it's really, really small. Okay, so maybe you can start. So just imagine, right, you have a client brief, and client XYZ tells you, I want to look for this. You have a particular track in mind, you click and you upload. So we have a name, we have a file system, and basically, just imagine you are trying to aggregate results and searches into it. So once you upload, what it does right now, basically, everything happens in real time. So it analyzes through sonic analysis, break down, extract features, and then basically search the database that you have. So all these database, the database that you have, the catalog, are already fingerprinted way beforehand. So this is what we offer. And ta-da! Oh, by the way, this happens real time. So it's really quick, and we give you the top 10 results according to the preferences that you have. So every single sync company, while might be using the same AI, will always deliver different results. And one of the things, because I'm going very okay, maybe just rewind a little. So in terms of AI, there's always what we call as assistive AI. AI is not here to actually disrupt or destroy whatever you're doing. It's supposed to complement. It's a set of tools. And one of the things that we want to do, so there are two ways to actually provide flexibility, and one is providing genres. So we understand that, okay, every single time you have a song and then you want to refine the search according to the genre, we allow you to do so, and it refines the search to give you the better search results at the end. Okay. Give me a while. I mean, this is clearly scripted, but let's just wait. So, okay. So basically, oh, right, okay. I'm clearly off track. Okay, so, yeah, sorry.
Okay, we're going to have to go on to the next one soon.
Oh,
so,
okay, sure.
No, let's keep going.
Yes, okay, so anyway, basically there's two functions. One is where we can actually allow you to alter genres to allow better refinement of research. The second way is basically we create an infinite nested search system where you start off with lead track, continue searching, liking the photos, liking the songs, and then continue searching from there. And at the end of the day, most importantly, the AI is supposed to serve your needs. It's basically this. So we go back to aggregation, aggregating the results for your client, and you can continue to, yeah. Okay, so basically, you can actually save all the songs that you saved, and more importantly, you can actually deliver this to the client. So it's a list of songs, and basically this is a reiterative approach. You continue this with the client themselves, and basically that's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Fa. That was good. So basically what you guys do is you really simplify the searching, selection, and curation of music for projects and the ability to present it throughout the rest of the people who are working on a project.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, perfect. So if you want to see a demo later, just go to him and he'll give you the whole rundown. All right, so speaking of demos, now it's time for you, Kurt, please.
Hi. Check. Yeah, okay, good. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? All right, excellent. My name is Kurt DeBeek. I'm out here from Seattle, and I'm the CEO for a company called SyncFloor. Going back to what Mark had said about what Sync is about, because I know a fair amount of the audience didn't know about Sync, right? So finding great commercial music to put into commercial video productions for advertising, for film, for TV, for video games, etc., is really, really hard. There's a lot of great music out there, and there are a lot of people who need great music and can articulate why they need the great music and exactly what kind they need. But connecting those two people, connecting buyers and sellers, is actually a really difficult thing. The process is really difficult for people who are searching for music. The process is really difficult for the people who have great music but don't have access to opportunity. And so what we're trying to do at SyncFloor is to build a large-scale, low-latency marketplace for high-quality music. And the way we think about ourselves is as an Airbnb of sync licensing. How many of you guys know what Airbnb is? Yeah? Okay, so one of the great things that Airbnb has done is it's democratized access to opportunity for people who have space, right? And the way they make that work really well is it's easy to put your space up, and more importantly, it's really easy for somebody to find a space in an intuitive way, right? And so what we've done is we've done something similar. Getting content into our system is really, really simple. And finding content in our system is very natural. And we talk about finding music naturally. That's what we do. And the idea is that you get to say what you want. I'm looking for something warm and positive, maybe a little melancholic, kind of indie folk or singer-songwriter, like this artist, like this song. And we take that English that you've specified, and we analyze it, and we come up with the musical features and bring back a set of results for you to look at. And so that's the core of what we do. And then as we go further, we give you really great intuitive ways to navigate that result set and find that perfect track. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you a little bit of a demo of what we have in our live service today. Okay?
Great. Let's go for it. Yeah, keep your mic. Keep your mic.
Keep my mic. Okay.
And take your computer.
Take my computer. All right. Okay. This might be a little bit confusing and hard, but we'll make it work. All right, you guys can see pretty well there? Yeah? Great. Okay. So imagine, let's say you're looking for some music and you took something like, you typed in something like this. This says thoughtful, mid-tempo indie folk songs about life, troubles, love, heartbreak, etc. Emotional is okay, but nothing over the top or too intense, right? And that's like literally the kind of thing people look for, right?
This is the kind of thing.
Just
Just to interject for a second, when a music supervisor comes to me, or if I'm music supervising a project, that is the kind of thing that you see on a brief where it's like, well, you know, the director wanted to do something, Mark, which is going to be a scene like it's in, I don't know, like it's in like 1930s New York, and we want to have like some steam coming out. Yeah, but what kind of music? Well, you like that.
Right, and this stuff is hard, and you need to do it really quickly. That's the thing. So what we do, as you know, Fa said, we're trying to be assistive. We're trying to make that workflow much more effective, and we're trying to transform the way you find music. So the idea is that you hit search, right, and we actually go look at what's here, and we convert it into interesting results. And we also indicate to you what we understood about what you said. And so you can see here we highlight the things that we thought were important statements. We highlight the genres we thought were interesting. We figure out that you said that this is something you don't want, and so we make sure that that's understood as well. And we come back with results here, right, that are indicative of where you might go get that content, and also some interesting details about the content itself and why it might match. When you want to listen to content, you can play it off of Spotify. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually take something a little bit more involved, right? And so I'll go here and take this example, right? And this, again, is the kind of thing, very much the kind of thing people see, right? This looks kind of like an email, right? You know, so
It's a
like,
brief.
Hey, this is a brief, right? They're trying to make a TV commercial for a spot about a night drive for a whole family in spring. It should be warm and positive. You know, they talk about what artists they think it might look like. They talk about what song they love that they think is interesting. Our job, again, is that you can hit search. You can take this same creative, right, and you hit search, and we go shred that apart, try to understand what things are positive, what things are negative, what things are neutral. Try to pick out the song, try to pick out the artists, and come back again with an understanding of what you're looking for and some interesting results. When you look at what we do here, essentially what we've done is we've created a language that we think is great for describing an individual track and in describing a search for a track. And then given that everything is in the same domain, we can then do matchmaking and ranking and give you interesting results. And so you can see here we do things like we take warm and positive, and that turns into mellow and reflective and happy. We take nice pace, and that turns into mid-tempo and up-tempo. We take modern, and that turns into contemporary and new. And by taking all of this sort of information extracted from the description you've given, we can now bring you back interesting results, and we can tell you again why those results matched. We can line things up. So that's really interesting in terms of letting you effectively look at what you have in the result set and get to songs that you want to listen to. Still, there are a lot of results that you got here. So we decided that we needed to give ways of navigating that result set. So we created a thing we call sync clouds. Sync clouds are essentially a tag cloud that's faceted on the result set. So you can interact with the cloud, and you can say, show me the emerging stuff, right? And so you get the results for that. Or show me the reflective stuff, right? You can actually bring the things together. So I'm going to have to do this and say, show me the reflective stuff from 2013, right? You can actually do that across genre, right? So you can look here and say, oh, show me the Seattle indie stuff. That's great stuff, by the way. You can say, show me the stuff that says wrong in it, right? And we actually come back and give you these lyric fragments where it said wrong, right? So you can really dig into the results. You see all of the bands that came back. So if you recognize a band, you say, well, show me the stuff that came back from that band. And so there are a whole bunch of really great ways to slice and dice that result set looking for what you have. So that's sort of just a part of what we do on the search side. I'll give you one quick other thing, which is what we do on the browse side. We realize that some people just need to look around in a catalog. And so we let people see all the kinds of catalogs that are here. You see some of the partners we're working with, great companies like InGroove and Believe, Majestic Casual, Sub Pop, stuff like that. And if you look at any particular catalog, we actually give you a map of that catalog. So for anybody's catalog in our system, you can kind of see exactly what that catalog is about. And you can interact with the map. So you can say, well, show me this stuff inside of here, and show me the intense stuff from that. And then look at a particular artist and say, show me the song there, right? And so this is a great way, an intuitive way of navigating anybody's catalog. And then you can turn that into a search, and you get back into the search experience, so you see what's here. And we really want to make it intuitive to go back and forth and find what you want.
Perfect.
Find music naturally. That's what we're about.
I like that. Find music naturally. And the thing is, when I look at this, like I look at all of this both as, you know, from a music supervisor and a perspective as somebody who connects music to music supervisors, this is something that, you know, Kurt will disagree with me on this point, I think. But basically, a lot of music supervisors are going to be, let's say, obviated by a piece of technology like this to some degree. Let me explain. If you're somebody who might not have a music supervisor around you, which is most of the world outside of the US and Europe, this is going to be a tool for you if you're a director, if you're somebody who's working on a show as a producer, if you're somebody who's working at a creative agency. Like basically, you know, even though there's somebody like Josh at Gray, you know, there's not somebody who's at Gray in Singapore that's a Josh. So a lot of the time, you know, Josh's team is not involved in a commercial. There's going to be somebody involved in a commercial here, and they're going to need to find music. And they find it through different ways, and maybe they ask Josh, you know, and his team. Sure. But this is something where it will help them to directly connect to the music that they can use in a project.
Sure, and I'll speak a little bit to that, and sort of the other part of that perspective. So we believe this is assistive to the people who do this every day. Like, so if you're doing this, we haven't seen the video, right? What we have is your articulation of what you want. That's an important job that the music supervisor does, is help their client articulate what it is that they want. And then they still have to listen to the stuff and help them line it up against the video to make sure it's the right thing that they articulated. They may have to iterate on that articulation anyway. So we believe it's still assistive in that sense. However, you know, as Mark points out, one of the great things that we're doing, and that's why we think of this as an Airbnb-like model, is we're trying to go to the edges. We're trying to make it so that if you're an artist or a micro label, an artist collective, or even an independent label or major independent, you might not be able to have access to all the opportunities that are out there for people looking for stuff. But here, you get your stuff into our system, and we match things based on musical features, not whether you're big or small. And so you can show up. And then if you're on the search side, yes, you might want to self-serve. You're an editor, and you're right there working on the thing, and you're like, boy, I know exactly what kind of track that I need. Perhaps in Premiere, you get access directly to our system, and you can do that search, and you can make that happen in a great, iterative, immediate way, right? And that's something that's not really happening today in the world of sync.
Right, exactly. And this really does add a lot of value to people in both areas, both people that have music and people that are looking for music. Okay, and now we're going to round off our demo panel, it turns out, with Rohan from Systema, and he's going to present Solus AI and tell us a little bit about how that works with music and you.
Cool. All right, so 30 minutes you said, right? So here we go. It should just be a video, so you just hit play and I'll go for it. It's I might cut this short because I know we're short on time, but it's just okay. Oh, so you got the presentation as well. All right, cool. So it's basically we've got just quickly. Okay, crap. Hang on. I'm technology challenged. So basically what we wanted to kind of create was something that augments, and I think everyone's kind of touched on it, and it's a brilliant concept, and I love the fact that we're kind of approaching this from a different angle, right? We're trying to solve the same issue, but it's such early days, and that's what's exciting about this, is that we're all coming at it from a different way. So I think there's still an opportunity to collaborate. So open book for me, but I don't know about you guys, but you know, keen to talk more, and it's super exciting stuff. So we want to kind of make jobs easier for people, right? So no one I know has enough time to spend with their family, has enough time in the week. You know, I'm getting a little bit of a belly, travel too much. You know, life sucks, and so sorry. But
I know. Come on, man.
On the positive side of things, we can automate a whole lot of stuff, and we can teach computers to do stuff that's repetitive and things that we don't want to do all the time. And I think that's where the cool intersection between humans and machines is exciting. So from a songwriting perspective, from a sync perspective, from your jobs are safe for the near future. You guys don't need to worry about being replaced by machines. It's just that you're going to be more effective. You're going to be able to make more money. You're going to be able to spend more time with your families, and that's what we're going for. And I think we've got a whole bunch of words here, but it's just what we're trying to do is you know, browse your music catalogs, large music catalogs, and get you to making a decision as quickly as possible, but use an interface that doesn't require words. So I think the reaction to music, you know, you feel something before you express it, and I think that's what we're trying to use as an input. So think about a keyboard and a mouse, or words and descriptors, right? And you have to get your interns or someone who is super trained in how to categorize music to be able to go through your catalog and be able to do that for you. And then you require someone who can articulate what they want in the same way to be able to find that music in the appropriate way. So what we've done is kind of create a way you can browse music without actually using those words, using feeling. And I think the reason why you guys are safe in what you do is because computers can't quite feel yet. And I think that's the key differentiation there. And what we're trying to do is get that non-verbal, you know, that knee-jerk, the tapping of the feet when you feel the beat, right? And the tempo, that sort of reaction to be able to describe your music for sync. And I think basically, I've got a whole bunch of words. It's just, anyway, it's just, we've got a sound engine there, and what we've done is we've kind of created a way to explore music. Can we just cut the audio for this? Just cut the audio. Just reduce the audio. Yeah. So basically being able to just browse a catalog and jump straight to music, because that's the best way to find stuff. And whilst you're doing it, it's learning what you're doing and personalizing the catalog for you. So you're getting from millions of tracks down to 3 or 4 very, very quickly. And it's based on what you're listening to and what you're doing. And sometimes it throws in a spanner in the works and kind of does something completely left field to see if maybe you want to backtrack a little bit. So it's playing with you a little bit to help you discover what you're trying to do. It's a little bit of a watch, but basically this is something we created as a user interface to demo something, the AI, in 2008. So this ran in a web browser, and we had the ability to create playlists and be able to share that. And we thought in a very you know, like how you create your playlist and share it with music soups and stuff like that. But the product has come a long way since then, and I think it's very early days, and I'm super excited to help kind of improve the state of the nation for the music industry. That's us.
All right, very good. So that's a visual way to find music for projects, so that you can you know, you can bypass, you know, just.
That's right.
Really churning through language.
Yeah, exactly. I think the language is what gets in the way sometimes. Okay,
very good. All right, guys. If I had another hour, I would go into a lot of question and answer with everybody, but I'll tell you what. Everybody here, I'm sure, will answer questions, talk to you, hold a demo with you afterwards, do whatever, you know, you want them to do. And I'd just like to thank you guys for staying with us and giving us a demo of what you have on offer.